Welcome to OJ Studios. Please enjoy this week's chapter of Bethany by Olivia Julius. Nathan jumped out of the van ready to be home. He slowly helped to take the bags into his house while watching Alex and his other friends playing football across the street from him. He wished he could play, but he feared that his mother would make him retry everything they bought. But he was instead surprised when his mother told him to go pick out a pair of jeans and go play with his friends. Nathan ran inside the house happy that he could finally be in a pair of pants instead of the dress. He went to his room and found the most boyish pair he could find and slipped them on. He threw off the dress and went to his closet and pulled off an all-red shirt. He didn't even care that the sleeves were only capped with a girly fringe at the end, he just wanted to play with his friends. Rebecca stopped him before he could leave and made him sit down for a second. Nathan stubbornly agreed and sat down on a bar stool in the kitchen. Rebecca took Nathan's hair and brushed it a few times before starting to put it in a ponytail. "Mom, can I ask you a question?" Nathan asked while his mother worked. "Anything, dear," she replied. "Why are you making me wear skirts and dresses for?" he asked. Rebecca stopped and thought a little bit before going on. "Well, it's because eventually you might be interested in a boy, and that boy or a girl, and you might want to start dressing up for him or her and start wearing skirts and dresses, but if I don't teach you now, what will you do? So basically you're making me wear a dress because I might need to in the future?" Rebecca nodded her head and Nathan smiled his huge, beautiful smile. Nathan ran to the other side of the street where his friends were playing tag football in the empty lot. Alex was the first to see Nathan walk over and stopped the game. He waved at him while walking over. Alex smiled, and that made Nathan feel a whole lot better about being over there with the bigger guys. "Hey Bethany," Alex said. The 5 other guys behind him all looked at the new girl oddly, and it made Nathan feel a little uncomfortable. "Can I play?" Nathan asked. Alex's smile got 2 times bigger. "Sure," he said, "I need my number 1 runner." Nathan smiled. Maybe this time he would be one of the boys, he thought. Nathan and Alex walked back to the lot side by side. The other boys started walking towards the 2, and one boy named Ben spoke up first. "Girls can't play," he said, pointing a finger at Nathan. Nathan backed up slowly, trying not to cry. These were some of his friends, and now they were treating him like he had a disease. "Come on guys, this is just Nathan," Alex said, putting an arm on Nathan's shoulder. Nathan couldn't help but smile at the thought that Alex's arm was on him, and secretly he liked it. "You mean Nathan is that poor sap they were talking about today?" Ben said. The other boys laughed behind him, making Nathan force back his emotions. He had a fear that the whole school was going to make fun of him tomorrow, and he just wanted nothing more than to run home and crawl into his bed. "Come on Ben, you know Nathan has had a bad time as is, he really does not need you to criticize him. You know man, whatever, if you want to play with a girl then you can play with her alone, I'm out of here." Ben threw the ball high up in the air and watched it land on the other side of a neighboring fence. "Maybe your girlfriend there can get your ball back," he said, leaving. The other guys followed him, and soon the 2 were alone. Nathan was on the verge of tears, and Alex hugged him tight, telling him that it would be okay. They walked back to Nathan's house with Nathan unable to control his emotions. He wondered if he was going to get picked on like that during the school hours. Rebecca saw them walking to the house and ran outside to meet them. "What happened?" she asked, taking Nathan into her arms. Ben refused to let her play. Alex said. Nathan nodded, and through the tears. He didn't know where the emotions were coming from, but he couldn't help but let the tears run down. After 5 minutes Nathan finally was calmed down, with Alex sitting next to him. The TV was on and a Disney show was playing, but that didn't calm Nathan's fear of what was to come tomorrow.
Tyler laid on his bed looking up at the ceiling. Today marked the 4th day in the juvenile detention center. Ever since he forced Nathan to drink that stuff, he had been stuck in this place. This was all his fault. if he hadn't snitched on him, then Tyler wouldn't have had to taken drastic measures. Tyler got up from the bunk bed and carefully climbed down the ladder to the floor. There was nothing for him to do. There 20 kids his age living in this dorm-style room, and none of them would even talk to him. His 2 friends were in another dorm room, and they could only talk together during their allowed daily hour outside free time. He has been alone, he has had no outside contact. Even his dad has yet to contact him. Tyler's attention was only halted when a guard came in. He stopped and watched as the guard looked around, then came over to him. "Tyler?" he asked. "Yes," Tyler said. "Come with me. You're being transferred," the guard said, leading Tyler out of the dorm room. Tyler followed hesitantly. If he was being transferred, did this mean good news of bad news? Tyler didn't know, he just wished that he could have his old life back. Tyler followed the guard down a series of dimly lit hallways, his heart racing. He had no idea where he was being transferred to or what awaited him. The uncertainty gnawed at him, and he couldn't help but hope that maybe, just maybe, things were looking up. They arrived at a small, windowless office. Inside, a stern-looking woman in her 40s sat behind a desk cluttered with paperwork. She glanced up at Tyler as he entered. "Tyler, please have a seat," she said, gesturing to a chair in front of her desk. He took a nervous seat, unsure of what was about to happen. The woman studied a document on her desk and then looked up. "Tyler, we are transferring you to another facility. A transport van will be here shortly." Tyler's heart raced as he tried to comprehend the sudden change in his situation. A transfer to another facility meant leaving behind the dreary walls of this juvenile detention center, but it also meant stepping into an unknown world with new challenges. "Where am I going?" Tyler asked, his voice quivering with anxiety. "I cannot tell you that," the lady said. "All I can tell you is that you are to remain quiet and do as you're told." Mrs. Walker stood at a window that overlooked the lab's indoor cargo bay. She watched as the doors to the outside slowly opened and a transport van arrived and parked. 2 guards got out of the front seat and walked around to the back of the van and opened the side door. A young boy that Mrs. Walker recognized as Tyler walked out, still handcuffed. She had been waiting for this moment since the day that she first heard about what happened to Nathan Reed. The armed escorts came into her office and stopped just in front of her desk. In the middle of them stood Tyler with his hands handcuffed in front of him. "I've been waiting for you, Tyler," Mrs. Walker said with a smile. "You know you almost got this lab closed down?" Tyler didn't say a word, and that was all right with Mrs. Walker. "You know that it took some convincing to get the government to allow you to come here, right?" she said. Again, there was no response. "You know Nathan is now stuck as a girl, he may be like that for life." Mrs. Walker turned around to give Tyler the cue to talk. "He deserved it," Tyler said. "He's a snitch and no, he's a sissy." He spat on the ground and one of the guards hit him, causing Tyler to wince in pain. "Well, I guess slamming Nathan headfirst into a locker just for 25 cents doesn't qualify to notify a teacher." "How did you know that?" Tyler asked, looking surprised. "I have my sources," Mrs. Walker said with a smirk. She walked over to a shelf behind her desk and opened a cabinet and took out what looked like an asthma inhaler. "You know, Tyler, that wasn't the first formula that we had that could change a guy into a girl," she said, letting Tyler have a good look of the inhaler. "Here, let's make this fun. Guess how old I am," she said, leaning on her desk. Tyler looked at her and had to guess that she was a teenager, which was why he was wondering why he had to listen to her and not a grown-up. "I am 47 years old," she announced. One of the guards whistled and she put up a hand, playfully telling him to stop. "I know that I don't look it, but 10 years ago I was developing the drug that's currently in this inhaler when there was an accident in the lab. My name then was Eric, now my name is Ashley." She said Tyler was honestly freaking out about this. See, when that accident happened, I got turned into a 6-year-old girl. That formula that you stole and used on another person because of issues that you started was going to be the key to turning me back into a guy. Tyler was really freaked out about this now. She couldn't turn him into a girl, could she? I mean, there are laws that prohibit cruel and unusual punishment. Right? You gave Nathan the improved formula, but I still have plenty of the original, she said, shaking the tube and placing it in the inhaler. You can't do that, he said, panicking. Oh yes, I can. You see, Jamie, yes, I mean you, Jamie. I can. Don't worry, no one will believe you. After all, 6-year-olds have active imaginations, so no one will believe that you were in 5th grade once, she said before gesturing to the guards. 2 of the guards picked up Tyler and slammed him into the wall. I do believe this is how you had Nathan right before you made him drink, she said. And what else? Oh, yeah, I got a gift for you. She kicked him in the balls and Tyler let out a scream. Mrs. Walker waited for him to inhale, and she stuck the inhaler into his mouth and pressed down on the tube. As the inhaler released its contents, Tyler's eyes widened in fear, realizing the gravity of his situation. Mrs. Walker maintained a sinister grin as she continued to press the inhaler, administering the transformative formula. Tyler's resistance was futile.